Before you hit your Super Bowl party and you eat enough buffalo wings to choke a small donkey, drink a fifth of Jack Daniels, get into a fist fight and piss in the corner, you need to go to www.nttfgpod.com and subscribe. I'm Rock.
And I'm Archie.
Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
When I wake up in the morning and the laundry's out of order and I think I'll live a million on time.
By the time I get my books and I give myself a look, I'm in the corner just in time to see the bus slide by.
It's all right.
Saved by the Bell.
Oh, Rocco, rest in peace. Another one. Another one.
Yo, this is bullshit, dude. I can't, and this is now they're getting younger and younger.
Fucking people are just dropping like flies, bro.
Rest in power, Dustin Diamond, a.k.a. Screech from Saved by the Bell.
So to quote TMZ, a rep for Dustin tells us he died Monday, February 1st. His condition had greatly declined since last week. They took him off a breathing machine in an attempt to get him to a hospice care. His girlfriend was by his side when he passed away. They said he did not suffer.
Well, they said that was the only good thing. He legit got diagnosed and passed away within 3 weeks.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine that? Fucking just, you get diagnosed 3 weeks later, you're just dead. What the fuck?
He was he was an actor since 11 years old. And I'm a Saved by the Bell fan.
Really?
And I'm going to say only second to...
Like a big fan or a small fan?
A giant fan.
A giant fan. Okay.
Almost an air conditioner, if you would. I've seen I've seen every episode. Obviously, I can't recall them, like I used to because I haven't watched them in a while. But
I've seen them all pretty much.
Do you know who is a Saved by the Bell trivia fanatic?
I do. Should I say or should I let you say?
It is our best pal Vince's wife, Liza.
Correct.
She will school anybody in Saved by the Bell trivia.
One day we should have her on and we should do a little how well do you know the bell?
Yes, I like it.
What do you think?
Yeah, dude. She'll
we're going to rifle her off with questions and whatever. Say we do 10 questions of hard.
I will take the bullet. I'll go up against her.
Okay. It's going to be you versus Liza. And it's going to be, how well do you know the bell? It's going to be 10 questions.
Yes.
And for every question Liza gets wrong, our pal Vince has to eat something he despises.
I like it.
Adult food.
Adult, yes. We're talking out of the realm of mozzarella sticks, chicken fingers.
We're going to come up with something. We're going to have, how well do you know the bell? I like that. I like it.
And everyone that I get wrong, Vinny gets to slap you in the face. Good deal?
Great. Sure.
Dude, he was only 44 years old, Dustin.
44 years old. 2 years older than me, a year younger than you.
Well, first off, he's not a year younger than me. Fucking stupid.
Oh, you are 40. All right.
Giving out all the secrets. And I believe, maybe I'm misremembering this, but I'm pretty sure, and you can look it up out there, that he is brothers with Michael Diamond from
Get the fuck out of here.
Boys. Yeah, dude.
No, he's not.
I'm almost positive.
You know what? I don't know that.
You don't know much, though.
Yeah, true. If anybody out there hears this, write us NTTFGPOD@gmail.com. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you think. And I think Rock's bullshit.
Well, you could say, hey, leave a nice comment. Rock, you are correct, sir.
I don't know. Just because they look alike, I don't think so.
Rock, you're fucking stupid.
Oh, I mean, we're going to go with the latter. But
hey, listen, keep that up. I'll kick you right in your Kapowski.
I'm going to grab you by the Screech. He was on all 4 seasons. He was on the college years. And then there was another reboot of The Saved by the Bell, the new class.
The new class. See, all right.
And Dustin Diamond appeared as Screech from season 2 to 7 as Mr. Belding's assistant. I don't know the New Year's. I watched up into the college years, and then that was about it.
See, I think like I know a little bit of the college years and the New Year's and like their like movie they had, like like TV movie. That's where Eliza will definitely school me. But I feel like old school. I think I can hold my own. I'm not saying I can beat her. I think I can hold my own.
Do you think you can like reach back and grab some knowledge from like the Miss Bliss days?
Ooh, yeah, I could. Good morning, Miss Bliss.
Do you think you could fast forward a couple of seasons and have a very famous actress who didn't break through yet that would say, "Oh, Samuel"? Who is it?
Yes. Okay. Tori Spelling. What's up?
Goddamn. You're ready.
I'm ready to go, dude.
How well do you know the bell? Yo, Rock.
Yes, sir.
So I'm a little perturbed with this article that I just read. One of our favorite musicians, Marilyn Manson, he might be getting caught under the old Me Too web. I don't know about this, man. This is not looking good for our hot topic friend. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, dude. I read that. I've been reading up on this, and it's actually like sad and you know, I don't know, man. It's like obviously you don't want to believe it, but I mean, how many females have come forward now? It's like 5, right? 4.
Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, which I'm just reading right now, which I did not know. Okay, a tweet on February 1st by Rose McGowan. I stand with Evan Rachel Wood and other brave women who have come forward. It takes years to recover from abuse, and I send them strength on their journey to recovery. Let the truth be revealed. Let the healing begin. All right, now listen. I read all of their posts on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Evan Rachel Wood, I'm not really familiar with the other, I don't know names and faces too well, but fucking Ashley Walters, Sarah McNeely, Ashley Lindsay Morgan, and then just Gabriella. This is I'm quoting Vanity Fair. They all now it's almost disappointing to read because they all kind of have the same statement.
Yeah.
And it's like, because you don't want to believe it, you know.
No.
You fucking love Manson. But they all have the same statement, and they all are saying the same exact thing, that they're suffering from PTSD of their relationship with this guy. Now, the one thing that just it bothered me. I don't want to start stepping on toes here, my friend. But what bothered me is that
you have you step on toes. To be honest with you,
you're such a cocksucker. But one thing that bothered me a little bit is that, like, one of them mentioned, I believe it was, I don't want to say the wrong name, but one of them mentioned that from the get, from the first meeting, he was like love bombing her. You're the best. Oh my God, I can't believe I met you. Hey, let's do cocaine. Let me take a shower in front of me. And then the next line in her statement proceeds to say, and then our second meeting. All right, well, why is there a second meeting if the first one was a little weird? You know what I'm saying? I'm not discrediting any of them. If it happened to all of them, which we don't know, if it happened to all of them, you know, they deserve justice and they deserve the truth and everything like that. But how long would you stay in a relationship if you were being abused? I don't know. So
next question. I'll tell you this. I think there's something to be said though about these females. You know, he's a iconic generational public figure. Not even just like a rock star. I mean, he transcends just music, right? Pop culture, what have you.
Yeah.
I can see how you could kind of fall under that spell, man. I mean, that's when somebody's like super powerful like that, and you know, you kind of, you know, you maybe they fall in love with more than just the man Brian Warner. They fall in love with everything
with
like the persona of Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And you don't know. I mean, they're all saying the same thing. They're all saying that like he, you know, abused them,
abused them,
verbally, mentally, gaslighting, like he basically manipulated them. You know, I was reading in one of the actually the same Vanity Fair article, it quoted Spin magazine from 2009. It said Manson was quoted as saying of Wood, "I have fantasies every day about smashing her skull in with a sledgehammer." All right, now again, he's also the same guy who's ripping up the Bible on TV, on MTV, and so you don't know what is theater, if you would, and what's real life. They asked him about it, and he said, obviously, a theatrical rock star interview promoting a new record and not a factual encounter. So again, a lot of this shit, I think, blurs the lines between reality and theater, if you would.
So somebody in his camp answered for him because the cops swarmed his house last night, and because he wasn't responding to, and they were for his well-being, so the cops did a welfare check, and finally somebody from his camp reached out and said he's fine, he doesn't want to talk to the police, please leave, he's all right, don't worry about it. TMZ reported. This sucks. It sucks because, you know, again, we're fans, and we don't want to see this happening. I mean, bro, he's dropped from his record label. And he's dropped from an AMC series. I don't know what series it is, but they dropped him. You know what happens in this day of age. Something like this happens.
He was the AMC series is a horror anthology called Creep Show that he was dropped from. And I read an interview too with his ex-wife, Dita Von Teese, and she said, you know, she supports these women. You know, any type of abuse, you know, obviously is not condoned by her. She did say that, however, in their marriage, she never experienced anything like this.
Okay.
Or else I wouldn't have married the guy, you know. So, you know, it seemed like she wasn't saying like, oh, well, it's not out of the realm of possibility, you know. He went to Instagram, Marilyn Manson, said, obviously my art and my life have long been magnets for controversy, but these recent claims about me are horrible distortions of reality. My intimate relationships have always been entirely consensual with like-minded partners, regardless of how and why others are now choosing to misrepresent the past. That is the truth. I mean, to me, that sounds like, hey, I'm definitely a deviant and we had some weird shit, but I was doing it with someone that was consensual.
Yeah.
That's how it reads to me. I don't know. You know, this is all alleged.
Well, my friend, we are going to find out. Time will unravel this. And we hope the best for everyone. You know, I wish both parties could, you know, obviously, I don't know, bro. You know, there's three.
It don't look good.
It doesn't look good. There's three sides to the story, right?
Yeah.
There's that side, there's that side, and then there's the truth. So who knows? We hope, again, I said this before, I'll say it again. If it is true, and you know, it is what it is, and I hope all the women get the justice that they deserved.
Totally agree.
With that being said, the beautiful people. Yo, Rock.
What's up, bro?
Not much. So listen, I am very amped for our next guest, my friend. Not only has this guest been waving the metal and hard rock flag for the Sirius XM family for the past 11 years, but like your sister, he goes both ways. He listens to hip hop. Also, the voice of the anti-culture with his website hailsfromthecrypt.com and host of Ozzy's Boneyard and Liquid Metal. Welcome to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast, Shawn Winkler, aka Shawn the Butcher. What's up, son?
Hey, yo, what's going on? Pleasure to be here. What up, Archie? What up, Rock?
What's up, dude?
Cheers to you guys. Thanks for having me on. I think it's 14 years now, or 13
I'm sorry.
years.
I apologize.
Nah, this is the longest job I've ever kept in my life. I've never been in one place longer than 2 or 3 years without cursing myself and walking out the door, cursing at all the bosses, or the bosses throwing me out by my collar, you know? So I'm very stoked that I've been working there this long and that I'm still working there, because a lot of people aren't as fortunate. Yeah. So I'm very, very happy to be doing my jackassery, and I do it all from this little box we're talking in right here. I don't even have to leave my house anymore. I love it.
Nice. So how does that feel, though? That's got to be a scary thing, though, especially now with like cancel culture. You know, you talk for a living, right? And you're talking to the public. Like one wrong sentence and they want your fucking head these days.
That's very true. You wanna learn to, I don't know, man. It's to navigate through it with a good head on your shoulders. First off, I don't bring any negativity to air, because that's Jose Manga's channel, and Jose Manga really doesn't tolerate much negativity. And I see why, because I've lived a negative life my entire life, and I see exactly where it got me up until I tried and started being more positive. And he's been very positive the entire time. So he's like, no negativity. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. So as long as I'm always being positive, it's really hard to slip up and say something stupid like I probably would if I was just hanging out drinking with my buddy, making dumb jokes and stuff. So like, yeah, it's just, the good thing about it is I always listen back to what I say every time and take myself out of my own shoes and put myself in somebody else's shoes. And I never say anything that would be so outlandish to piss anybody off anyway. And if it is, it's something that like I'm fine with pissing someone off about. Like, but like, I don't know. I've always just been, I worried about that in the beginning, and now I don't really worry about that anymore, just because I'm also not like a shitty person. So I don't have to worry about like saying anything that's going to be so horrible that somebody's going to be like, oh my God, whatever. But like, yeah, people get pissed off at me all the time. Like I talk about mental health sometimes, and I used to be on pills. And one time I was like, pills don't do anything. And I got fucking like rained upon from people like, how dare you say that? What are you, a doctor? The correct thing to say would have been, in my opinion, pills don't. And then that would have saved me completely. So I learned from making mistakes. That's how I learned my entire radio career, is from screwing up and learning how to cover my ass.
It's amazing how you have to be like, well, I got to disclaim myself, you know?
Screw that. Sometimes I'd be like, Sirius XM Liquid Metal does not support the but just to screw off. But it's always positivity anyway. And if I am making fun of a band, I got to do it like underhanded, because we don't always play stuff that I love either. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, here's some stuff if this is the kind of stuff that you're into. But you know, I am clearly not. But you know, Life of Ag, I like your Life of Agony shirt, Archie, man. That's
representing, dude.
My people right there.
See, if you know Life of Agony, then you know that it's like almost like a tight-knit group, almost, you know, the fans and shit, they fucking love their band. And, you know, I like to see people represent, because I feel like you'll always see a Metallica shirt, you'll always see a Kiss shirt. When do you see an LOA shirt? Not much. Yeah. But I love it.
I don't think I have. I had one Life of Agony shirt, I think, in my whole life, and it was from I bought it in Atlantic City on the boardwalk at Harrah's, or like right off of Harrah's, and it was like it said LOA, who's talking shit, and I didn't even know if it was a Life of Agony shirt. It could have been Lords of Acid. There's a bunch of bands.
That's right.
LOA.
Oh, shit.
And then I was flipping through like a Rockabilia catalog back in the day when they were sending those out and you could buy merch from there. And it said Life of Agony. It was that same shirt, the LOA Who's Talking Show. I'm like, thank God I was walking around wearing a Life of Agony shirt. That's what I wanted. But yeah, I love Joey Z, Alan Robert, my homie. Alan Robert drew pictures of me and Jose.
That's awesome.
Like, when I came up listening to metal and playing bass, it was playing Life of Agony, Alan Robert riffs because that dude writes great bass lines. And then this dude is drawing pictures of. I'm like, my heart melted. I got that shit up on my wall, framed. Like that is so sick. Shout out to Alan Robert, Mina Caputo,
man.
Veronica, the whole Life of Agony family. I love them all.
I have so many. I could do an episode on my.
Yeah, we have a lot of LOA stories.
LOA stories and like fucking, and I'm talking like down deep, like eating pizza with Whitfield Crane and Old Bridge. What? Like,
wow.
Yeah. But like, oh man, it's actually what I wanted to get to something in a little while about this. It's a funny story. I wanted to see.
Fucking get to it now, pal.
Let's go.
Format here.
Yeah.
Fuck it. 20 years old or not 18 years old. I'm doing construction during the summer. And I'm driving down the shore. I'm listening to 89.5 WSOU.
Ooh, SOU,
right.
Seton Hall's Pirate Radio.
And in the next 20 minutes, we're giving away Life of Agony tickets, 2 Life of Agony tickets, backstage passes. We're going to,
and I can't remember this club. It was in New York, and it was like upstate New York, and it was like the name of the club was the address of the place, something like that. If you, I don't even.
There was a place in Long Island like that. Yeah.
So fucking. I get to the site. Work boots, fucking shorts, fucking guinea tea. I'm getting ready. I'm like, fuck it. I saw some joint down the block. I took a shit in the other day. There's a phone in there, bro. Because I didn't have a cell phone. Like no cell phones. Caller 21. I fucking jetted across the lot, bro. I was doing like the fucking OJ Simpson in a Hertz commercial, bro. I slide into this fucking hangar. Boom. 973-761-9768.
Man, got the number, yup.
I'm like, fuck it ain't happening. Caller 21, you are the winner. I'm like, if I knew what to do, I'd do. I get the fuck out of here. Anyway, I went to the show backstage with a good friend. I showed him my LOA tat. I won't show you now. My back is about as hairy as a chimp. But showed him the tat. Ever since then, it was like a connection, love, fucking. Have you ever done anything somewhat like that? You know, any blunders, any types of shit to see your favorite band?
I mean, to see, I mean, one time for the Acacia Strain tickets, Metal Injection was like, say something, tell us why we should give you tickets to see the Acacia Strain. And it was like, I smoke 6-foot bongs and bang girls in the ass. And they gave me the tickets. I was like, hell yeah. That wasn't outlandish. That was just something I would type for the hell of it. That was years ago. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like, outlandish, I've paid outlandish amounts of money to go to shows.
See Springsteen, I did.
Yeah, right. Please, Springsteen. My buddy works for Springsteen, and I've like, he's like, come see Bruce with me, and I'm like, damn, man, I don't know if I could. He plays like 4.5-hour shows, right?
Dude.
Yeah, Bruce is the god. I think he was just playing the inauguration tonight, 2 seconds ago. Yep. Jersey represent. Yeah. But I mean, I've been lucky enough to be able to just get into shows for a long portion of my show career, luckily. But I'm trying to think of some crazy. I haven't slept outside for a show. Please, I went to see Pantera and Slayer played at Nassau Coliseum, which was like 7 minutes from my house. And I'm in line for the show, and some kid was there, and he's like, "Man, I drove down from however it took me 15 hours. Where'd you come from?" And I was like, "Oh, I live 6 minutes away." And he's like, "Oh." I was like, "Sorry to break your heart, dude." But I've traveled for shows. I've gone to see Guar in like Virginia, which is fun for no reason. And
the Guarbecue.
Well, that was been in Richmond, Virginia. I got to host a couple of barbecues. That was some of the best moments of my life.
Oh my God.
Out at Haddad's Lake in Richmond, Virginia. Rest in peace, Dave Brocky, Odoris Urungus.
Yeah.
But I don't know, some crazy stuff that I have done for tickets. I mean, I've definitely called. I don't know if I've ever won tickets other than that metal injection thing. But other than that, I was just buying tickets and waiting in line to get in shows. Yeah. And now I'm spoiled. Now I'm a princess. I want the VIP. I don't want to be down in the crack because for my chick. I don't want my chick getting pushed around. I want to be like, I'm so jaded now. Like I go to a hardcore show where there's no nothing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this is what I started going to back in the day. This is what it's like. My spoiled ass.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, dude, we're all missing going to shows now. Like it's fucking nuts. And Arch, I know you've never been to a Gwar show, but I saw Gwar at the first housecore heavy metal and horror movie fucking convention in Austin 2013 2014, and Gwar played, and this is like shortly before Dave Rocky passed away, maybe a year before, something like that. What a fucking show, dude. Like you can't
I've heard
you can't even fathom it unless you see it. Like fucking everyone's dripping, blood. I literally, you talk about being a prima donna. I fucking stood to the back. I was the furthest person back. I'm like, I just want to enjoy it. I want to drink my beer. I want to like not get hurt or wet but what a fucking experience.
Yeah, Gwar is all about the stage show. I had buddies who for years were trying to get me into Gwar, and listening to Gwar on CD is 100% different experience than being at a Gwar show. And the only reason I saw them, it's because my brother fell in love with Gwar, and his birthday is June 6th, June 12th. I think it's June 12th, and I think June 16th, Gwar played in Long Island at some bar, the Crazy Donkey, and I was like, shit, I'll take my brother to go see the Gwar show. And I went, and within 30 seconds, they come out, and like, it's always silence. And then some asshole walks out on stage, some fake dude with a fake head, and he starts talking all this trash. And he's like, this place is full of a bunch of redneck mother, and you guys are all assholes, and who, and then one of the Gwar creatures comes out, and it's like, hey, fuck you. Sword to the neck, head comes off, blood shoots everywhere, and then it's 4 count, and everything kicks in, blood spraying everywhere. And I was like, what is happening? Everyone started crowd surfing. So I was like, I've never crowd surfed in my life. And everyone was making it look easy for once. So I said, screw it. I tapped on the dude in front of me. He did the hand cup, stepped in, put me up. And within 30 seconds of the first Gwar song, they had 2 blood guns on each side of the stage. And I'm crowd surfing for my first time ever. And as I am crowd surfing, I am getting shot with the blood guns. And I was like, this is the greatest show I have ever been to in my entire life. From that point on, anytime Gwar was in New York, and sometimes even out of New York, I was like, I'm going. And Gwar was the best, and still is like the best live experience ever.
Yeah, I never seen them. That's definitely, it's either Gwar or Billy Joel. It's a bucket list moment. So,
Billy Joel taking over the garden.
So I'm like, no, I would go see them. Didn't they recently? I might be late to the news, but didn't they recently like have a female in the band? Like that was a thing.
Yeah, they had Jesus Christ. Now I can't remember her name. Now I'm putting on the spot.
I'm right by saying that, right?
She's not in the band anymore. I don't think. She was in it for a short while, and Gwar characters come and go like crazy. So
yeah, good, fucking cool. Yo, congrats on the new time slot for 4 p.m.
Yeah. Yep.
This is cool, bro. This is
what, the 5 p.m. or the 4 p.m.
The 4 p.m. right into the pit
for trivia. Into the trivia pit. We just did it for the first official 4 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Last week was by accident, and it kind of that's the way stuff happens on that show. Like something will happen accidentally, and it sets the tone for everything that comes after that. And that's how the show has functioned since the last. I mean, it's 200 plus episodes now, which is incredible. 4 p.m. We have been wanting to move the show later, but back at the studios, we had limited studios, and I was still taking the train, and I wasn't trying to be at work all that late, and I wanted to get the hell out of there. And Jose is on the West Coast, so he was like, I want to move the show later, and I was like, that just means I'm stuck at work later. So the fact that we have this now, and we were like, hey, can we do this? Hey, can we do this? And everything was like, yeah, you could do whatever you want. I was like, oh, as that's been the theme for the last 10 months is somehow this pandemic has forced things that never worked before all of a sudden to work better now because you have to figure out a way around it. So I love that we were able to switch the time, and now we're on at 4 p.m. and we got a lot more callers and a lot more listeners, hopefully. And yeah, I love that show. It's the best part of my week. It never feels like work. It always just feels like this, just like dicking off, just chilling.
Nice.
I mean, what fucking job? It's like you get up and you get to play your fucking favorite music that you enjoy, right?
Yeah,
you get to talk metal, shoot some shit about wrestling, and it fucking and whoever you talk to, either callers or guests or whatever, they're fucking into it, and it's like it's a good time. So I can imagine it's a nice job. This is
the trivia show. Yeah, well, it's there's nice portions of the job, like any job, you know. In Cypress Hill Rock Superstar, they got the clip where he's like, "It's a fun job, but it's still a job." It is definitely the being on air, talking about metal and talking to callers and doing trivia is a pepperoni piece on the pie of the day.
Gotcha.
So like, there is still so much other like. I mean, I usually work on 3 channels. Lately, I've been working on 5 channels. Oh, wow. The pandemic is just, they're adding a lot more stuff, and them adding more stuff, that doesn't mean they're adding more people. It just means you're getting more work.
Yeah.
So there's just been a lot of work and a lot of stuff going on. And I've been losing my mind at this very computer, in this very chair, stressing, grinding my teeth, like yelling, screaming, fighting, but trying to remain calm. But I've had some of the best moments ever. I've interviewed Acacia Strain right here, Code Orange right here, Gate Creeper right here, Eric Andre right here. Like, it opens up so many opportunities, and I love being able to just do my job from the comfort of my home and do the trivia show. The fact that I can do trivia from here is insane. It is insane. I didn't think it was possible, and we're taking phone calls in my living room. Like, what the hell is going on? It's insane. I love it. I love the job. I love parts of the job.
Yeah.
But it is what you make it. It is what you make it. Because I could let it be a very lame job, but I definitely take the initiative to make it better for myself.
I'm very interested because I do all the editing for the show, and you know, there's always like using like Audition, or people use Pro Tools, whatever. Like, how much are you involved on the editing, and do you do any hands-on? Like, are you? That's
the pie. That's the rest of the pie.
All right,
pepperoni slicer. All I do, my whole job, 85% of what I do with Sirius XM is editing. Every single thing.
Oh shit!
I edit every interview. I edit everything. Everything needs to be edited, because interviews, they come like this. You're going to get an hour of audio and you just get a solid chunk. But in that solid chunk, we pull IDs, we pull guest DJs, we pull new music intros, we pull interviews. So I got to chop. I got folders with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of files of edits and audio. And like, that is all. I take out breaths and ums and ahs and uncomfortable gaps and dudes repeating themselves and 15-second chunks where they're just like, I tighten everything up, because everything has just got to flow. There's supposed to be no gaps in anything. And I don't tolerate none of that shit. So all I've been doing for 13 years is editing. I learned on Pro Tools, and now I strictly work in Adobe Audition, which is a way dumbed down version of Pro Tools. And I love it. I love it. It's so easy, and it makes my job so easy when it works. So
you can get right in there. You can zoom in and you can get in and you'll be like, that's where that motherfucker is.
I can make words. I've made dudes say stuff they didn't even say, like, just to make it make sense. So
I hear you, brother.
Basically, Shawn would hate me like you did when I'm like, dude, we need to put a fucking episode out. What are you doing? Are you like editing? He's like, yo, first off, you stutter like a motherfucker.
Sometimes you gotta leave that shit in, because it sounds more natural. Because if you edit too much, and it's like and it's like there's no breathing here. There's nothing natural about this. So sometimes I used to take out everything, and the more years have gone on, I kind of leave in a little more stuff, so it's like more human.
You know what? It's so funny that you say that, because I never realized that. And Archie and I are in a band. We've been in like a Hometown Heroes band for like fucking 15, 20 years, whatever it was. And we record, and you hear the like I sing, so it's like and like the sucking into the air, and I'm like, yeah, it kind of sounds weird. It's like, no, but you have to leave that in because then it doesn't sound normal. The rest of the shit you're singing. So I get that.
Big pun.
Yes.
When he raps. When he inhales, the inhale is so strong because he is such a massive dude. And I would listen, and sometimes they take it out, but most of the time they leave it in, and he breathes deep. And like, yeah, you can't edit all that shit because it's so.
Have you ever went to one of your boys when you're like fucking drunk or stoned and went dead in the middle of a little middle? Yo. That's a cool segue to this because Rocco and I, we feel like we were talking about this the other day. We're almost a fucking Shawn the Butcher because we are metalheads and we love old school hip hop.
Love it.
That's like like him and I a couple of years back are at a fucking House of Pain reunion in Montclair, New Jersey. Like two little girls in the fucking jumping around. That's
awesome.
But like we feel you on the hip hop era, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, like, I mean, I came up with hip hop. My first CD ever was it was Nirvana, Nevermind, and Wu-Tang Clan 36 Chambers. Those were the first two albums I ever owned on CD. But on cassette, I had Cypress Hill, Black Sunday. I had 1993 from Naughty by Nature.
Yeah.
I was rocking the hip hop because I mean, where I was growing up, I grew up around a bunch of people who listened to hip hop. No one was listening to rock. No one was listening to metal. No one was listening to none of that. Yep. I fell into rock through like Offspring. I came up with grunge and like Nirvana and Green Day, which pushed me into Metallica, which pushed me off the cliff with metal. But before any of that shit, I was listening to Wu-Tang, and I was in my buddy David's house in the 4th and 5th grade, and his brother had tapes stacked to the ceiling, and we would listen to Tupac and we would listen to Naughty by Nature, and I was like, this music is really cool. It was like foul mouth, and they were talking about stuff I didn't know about, and like I was like, my parents would hate me and I would never be able to listen to it in my own house. So finally my mom, for like my graduation present, got me like a ghetto blaster, and she's like, what 2 albums do you want? I was like, so I got Wu-Tang Clan and fucking the opening track, Bring the Motherfucking Ruckus, Bring the Motherfucker, and I was cranking that in my little 5th grade room, and my parents were like, what is going on? And I was memorize. I would be roller skating around my little court I lived in Queens with my cassette on, and because I would record because I didn't have a CD player. I had a cassette player, so I would have to record from the CD onto the cassette player and make my own little mixtape, and then I would listen to that outside on my Walkman, and I would be memorizing Mystery of Chess Boxing, my favorite Wu-Tang track of all time, and then. I don't know what happened. I mean, the same thing always happens. I probably got bored after a while, and I was like, I need something else. And then I transitioned over to metal, and then I would find bands like E-Town Concrete, New Jersey Heroes, and I would find like, and I'm like, oh man, there's bands that blend hip hop and metal, and then I fall further in love with the shit. And then it just goes back and forth. I'll listen to rap for 5-6 years and be stuck on it, and then be like, nothing is coming out on board. And it's like, oh shit, there's new metal bands out. And then 5 or 6 years, I'm riding metal hard. And then I'm like I'll hop on and off all the time. And every time I hop off, I'll discover 1,000 new things. And then I'll go back to my other thing. And like, I love finding new hip hop. I mean, that's hard. Finding new hip hop for me is one of the most difficult things, but
I feel the same.
Yeah, find a new hip hop, find a new metal, and I want to do something more hip hop like oriented. I want to work for one of the hip hop channels or whatever, but as of right now, none of that's happening. But I love rap. It's so similar to metal.
Didn't you back in the day, didn't you like you knew, like when you were younger, right? Like you knew like, all right, this is hip hop and that's metal. It's like two different doors. Yeah. All of a sudden you hear E-Town Concrete and you're like, wait a minute, hold up. You could do that.
Nobody did it better. And I was like embarrassed to say, because I would talk, I'd be on AOL Instant Messenger talking to some Jersey metalhead Slayer dude who didn't listen to nothing but Slayer, and I'd be like, E-Town Concrete's cool, and he'd be like, you're a fucking poser. And I was like, I'm not allowed to like E-Town Concrete, I guess. And then one day the CD was just in the store, and I was like, fuck this, I'm getting it. And I was Time to Shine. It's a masterpiece. I was addicted. That's like Master of Puppets to me. I was addicted to Time to Shine. So I love like hip hop beats hit as hard as heavy metal beats. Like you're gonna tell me the Mystery of Chess Boxing from Wu-Tang Clan isn't like, or Slam from Onyx. Like if that's not a heavy metal hip hop song, like there is so much of that aggression and that beat and that bass. That's why I like, that Slam shit. Like even with I don't know, I guess ignorant metal.
Judgment Night.
Yeah. I like slow. I like groove.
I think that like metal and hip hop both share the theme of like fuck you. Like that's the theme. Like it's intense. Both genres are like super intense. Archie and I grew up in a town called Bloomfield, right next to Newark, New Jersey. So like, East Orange had like Naughty by Nature. Newark had Redman.
Redman, the greatest.
Yeah,
Love
dude.
him.
It was undeniable that like if you grew up there, you like that shit, right? We happen to like metal too, so we always kept that. Even like in the bands we were in, we always kept that eclectic attitude of I'm gonna listen to everything. Like that, you can like more than one genre, right?
No,
I do. I don't give a crap who the hell says that I can't like rap or whatever. Like screw that. I have latched on to rap bands and groups like as much or more than metal bands. I love how they fit hand in hand with each other. And like, do you guys know about Griselda? I mean, Griselda is all I listen to.
I heard the name. Absolutely.
I
just heard
haven't been listening to hip hop for so long, and I started coming back with like Action Bronson and Mayhem Loren. Mayhem Loren is great. But they were doing it for me, but they didn't completely pull me back in. I don't know where the hell I found Griselda. I think I heard him a couple times on Shade 4-5.
Okay.
And I would hear people talking about him. And then someone was like, yeah, Conway the Machine got shot in the face, and his face is on the side of his face. And I was like, this sounds, and that's how I got into 50 Cent. The last time I was really on the hip hop was those 50 Cent Who Kid mixtapes. I would drive around with my dealer, smoking blunts all day, listening to Who Kid mixtapes in Jackson Heights, Queens, thinking I was the most hardcore motherfucker on the planet. And I haven't been into hip hop for a while since then. And these dudes in Griselda, the beats, the rhymes, everything reminds me of that old school, but even better than 50 Cent. And dare I say, even better than Wu-Tang Clan, because it is just all grimy. There's no singing. There's no club tracks. It is straight up drugs and murder and money. And I feel scared listening to this shit. Like if I would ever be near these dudes, I would be like, somebody's better be strapping or because I don't feel safe at all. But I would love to pick. It's Conway the Machine, West Side Gun, and Benny the Butcher. There's a bunch of other dudes because they just started signing people like crazy. Okay. But I found them in 2019 and in December of 2019. And then they dropped shit in January, in March, in July, in August. Every other month they were dropping a new album, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" All the albums were amazing, and then you dig into their back catalog, and it's equally as insane. And I just could not imagine that I haven't been listening to hip hop for such a long time, and these guys have been crushing. Highly recommend. Buffalo, New York, Every Time I Die territory. Yeah. Griselda, the most gangster motherfuckers on the planet.
All right. Definitely. Next time, fucking that sounds like gym music. Go out fucking
get angry.
Yes, listen, check out anything from Conway the Machine, West Side Gun, or Griselda. Hard beats, hard rhymes, like just so sometimes no chorus. They'll just rhyme for like 80 bars talking about like, I shot this motherfucker, I killed this motherfucker, the feds still didn't catch me, fuck you, I'm selling drugs. It's like, oh my God, like they are MF Doom has a song called Rap Snitches, telling on themselves. And I was like, are these guys like admitting to like murder on tape? It's Rap Snitches, telling all the business, show up in court and be their own star witness. Yeah, great MF Doom. I love MF Doom. Rest in peace, MF Doom.
Listen, you're gonna have to come with me, sir. Oh, I heard your tape.
It's crazy. It is so crazy the shit that they rap about, and it's like you wouldn't dare question them about it because they'll kill you. Yeah. They'll kill you.
Yeah, I love. Like, again, Archie and I, we write songs, right? So like, and we'll take not just a metal song, like rap, and like you said, they're writing just bars, no chorus. I'm like, what made them think to do this? Like, why? How did they construct this song? Like, what? Yeah. Like it's so out of the box that it's like, wow, okay, interesting. Because I feel like in the genre that we play like heavy rock, metal. And it's like it becomes, too much to a formula where it's like, okay, it's like verse, chorus, breakdown, chorus, go home, fuck off. And I feel like some of these artists you learn from hip hop where it's like you don't need to follow that roadmap.
Well,
one of my favorite Green Day songs is goddamn, I think it's Jaded, and I don't even know if that song has a chorus. It's just a straight up like verse. Like I think it's all in just how they feel. I mean, it's all just like on a certain day. It's all how you go into the studio. I used to do some hip hop stuff, and I used to have days where like I'll sit and write with a couple dudes or whatever, and then sometimes I would just write a whole thing and just be like, just do this thing by itself, like whatever. I love that shit. I feel like that's that old school stuff. I mean, Redman, Newark, New Jersey.
Fuck yeah,
bro.
Funk Dr. Spot, my favorite rapper probably of all time. There Is a Dark Side, Muddy Waters, just classic albums, and he would just. The last track on There Is a Dark Side, he raps for like 4 minutes straight and just goes and doesn't stop and doesn't throw to a chorus. And like, it is so nasty. And I love that. I love the non-form. That's why I loved MF Doom, because there was no formula. It was always whatever I want. And that's what it is. And I know what a good song is and I'm going to construct it. Like, I love that so much. Yeah. You don't need, I don't know, formulas gross me out. I was just making fun of one of our channels on Sirius, because like every band, it's like we got a kind of heavy catchy riff, and then we scream in the verse, and then we sing in the chorus, and then we scream in the verse, and I'm like, I'm like, I get so tired of like, I know what they're going for, and I know how, like, I don't know, and we play some of that stuff on Liquid Metal too, so it's like, I don't love everything. It's hard to love everything. Nobody loves everything. You can't.
It's impossible.
No.
What you're talking about, we call that the fucking the good cop, bad cop song. It's like the fucking cop fucking on the verse, screaming, and then oh my gosh, the chorus. Here comes the good cop.
It's okay. It's going to be okay. We're your friends. We're your friends. Where were you on Friday? Oh my God. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's not what I'm looking for. And I hate when bands bands that never did that all of a sudden, like on their 12th album, are like, we're going to try that now. Man, we lost another
come on, put your pants back on. Stop it.
Yeah, it is what it is, though. I understand what they're trying to do. I just don't have to love it. Whatever.
When you sit at your computer every day, when you go to work, do you have like a list somewhere saying like, all right, you got to play these fucking 12 songs during your X amount of hours on, or is it your shit that like you're like, you know what? I'm like, I was listening to you as I was cooking right before we got on that couple hours. You're like, Candiria. This is some Candiria, right? And, and then you played a little Metallica in there, and I'm like, fucking. All right, is this his? Like, is he like?
It's hard to explain. The day is built out individually. There is I don't know really how to explain it, but we pick the music. Me and Jose, we have say over what is going in, and Ian Christie and Scotty Body, all of the DJs have say on stuff that goes in. But Jose is the boss. Jose like runs the channel.
Yeah.
So he has the songs that he is going to play, and he has the songs that like I have emailed him about relentlessly, like, yo, check this out. But he knows so much stuff is coming through that when I am hitting him up about like, yo, check this out, that he knows that it's worth checking out. And 90% of the time we end up adding it to the channel, which is cool because then I love that I get my stuff in there, the vein, the judiciary, the trash talk, the sanction, the all that stuff. So the day is built. What I do is I go in and I have spots throughout the day that I can jump in and say whatever I want about stuff that's your average listener. This is where we get technical. Your average listener is listening for 15 minutes. So you don't talk in further than like a 20-minute block, because it's like in 25 minutes you're going to hear, and it's like guys in the car is like, I'm here for the next 6 minutes. Why the fuck do I care about what's up in 25 minutes? So you think in 15-minute increments. So I always, anytime I'm like, here's what you're going to hear in the next 15 minutes. Like, so because basically in 25 minutes, I'm talking again. I talk like every 25 minutes.
Okay.
I have the capability to rearrange what's in there already. So if I'm going into, let's just say, Anthrax Indians for the 700 billionth time, props to Anthrax. I don't want to hear Indians anymore because I've heard it so many damn times. Correct. So I will swap out Indians and maybe throw in Trash Talk, or maybe throw in Candiria, or maybe throw in Life of Agony, or maybe throw in like something that I'm like, this is a lot more me. Or so, I'll leave in the Anthrax. I'm not going to take it out, but I can add stuff in and play my stuff as well. But most of the stuff in there is my stuff, and most of the time I don't really have to change anything. So
that's cool. It's almost like
I've rearranged stuff.
It's like saying like, it's a little bit. It's a lot of bit of you that you could add to your fucking set. It's like you're doing a set almost. Like
yes. And, I mean, I played today. I played the Tony Danza tap dance extravaganza. Like we never played Tony Danza tap dance extravaganza. So like I love being able to pepper in things like. Yeah, because sometimes we play stuff on Liquid Metal that I'm just like, no, I don't even think this should be on the channel, whatever. So sometimes I'll, skip that song. Like, whoops, my finger slipped on this song. We didn't play it. Instead, we played, Jesus Piece. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of me, and. Yeah, I kind of just make it up as I go along. But I go into a predetermined spot each day. Gotcha. I'm the little puzzle piece every 25 minutes from 5 to 9 p.m. Eastern.
Because I have two little girls, and we're up early in the morning, and we put on something that everyone can listen to.
Of course.
So there's like certain channels we put on. And I know that when I'm fucking drinking coffee in the morning, I'm hearing Machine Gun Kelly every fucking morning.
Machine Gun's rock album. Machine Gun's rock album.
So I know I'm having breakfast with Machine Gun Kelly every fucking morning because it's the same fucking playlist every fucking morning. Like I know that my 2-year-old daughter is like, we know what's coming up, and it's just really it's curious to me because I know I think that like if I was in your spot, it's like, what the fuck am I spinning? Like, what am I throwing in there? Am I gonna fucking do a little like typo negative and then throw in a little like E-Town Conquer?
And you'd be surprised how when you're like, oh man, I got a spot right here to play anything that I want. When that power is given to you, it's like it's so hard to figure out what the hell to play. I'll sit there for 20 minutes, like it's like looking at Netflix because you're just like, oh my god, there's just so much here. What do I do? Where do I go? So I always try and it's good to theme it with stuff. Like if I'm talking about something, it's good to try and talk about something that relates to it.
You ever get a text from Jose? Fuck you playing?
Nah. I usually clear everything with him beforehand.
What the fuck is this?
The stuff he has played, no. With the stuff he's played, I could call him on the same stuff. Like, what the fuck is this?
Gotcha.
So, he's called me about other stuff. But never never my music choices. He always knows that, like, because that's when it's gonna get love. It's gonna get love during my show, and I'm down with that. I like that you can sometimes only hear stuff during my show. That's badass. I've wanted that my whole life.
That's awesome.
If you don't mind, I just want to dive back just for a couple minutes, just because Opie and Anthony is one of our favorites from fucking back in the day, man. As contributing to a fucking Whip It Out Wednesday sign in Montclair State.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe you were an intern on Opie and Anthony for a little while, right? I'm sure that was real lame, right? It was like tiring to go there.
That's where I learned everything.
No action there.
Everything. Yeah, like that place is working under pressure, working early in the morning, working with people like screaming with pots and pans clanging behind you, working with big audiences, working with rock stars. Like Opie and Anthony were fucking rock stars to me, especially. I was really lucky because I mean, I'm not really. I busted my ass for all that shit, but I got it as an internship because I was just finishing school. I never went to school for radio. I don't know nothing about radio. Clearly, you could tell. Listen to me on air.
No,
I went for audio and editing my band. I wanted to record my band in Pro Tools and not have to pay somebody to do it. So I learned all this stuff about Pro Tools and I started interning at Def Jam and I did not like it. It was boring as hell. They stuck me in a closet to burn CDs and stuff. And I was like, this sucks. And my buddy just got XM and Opie and Anthony just started on XM. And he's like, hey, I know you hate your internship. Opie and Anthony just ran an ad for internships. Here's the number. And I was like, cool, thanks. I called them and within 3 hours, they were like, hey, you want to come in for an interview? And I was like, hell yeah. That day I went in for an interview. And the next day they offered me the internship. I got rid of Def Jam. I was at Opie and Anthony for a year. And I was one of the only interns who knew how to use Pro Tools because that's what I learned in school. Yep. And then one day, two of the producers got in a fight and one of them quit. And they're like, well, the spot just opened up. You want it? I was like, shut up. So I took it and I was there for 2.5 years. I'm not going to lie. It was the longest 2.5 years of my life. I wanted to quit every day. And I'm a quitter. And when I get fed up, I'll cry and stamp my feet. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. I've had a lot of bands end like that.
Yeah.
Something about, not something. I would have my parents and my friends, and they would be like, don't be a dumbass about this. Like, you're not fired and you have the option to go back. And I would fuck up so bad that I probably should have been fired. Yeah. But I would always go back and I would get, some great times where I'm laughing and so hard I'm about to throw up. And sometimes I would fuck up on air and they would bring me in studio and they would destroy me. And any bit of, that would ruin my month. I wouldn't have a bad couple of hours. I would be depressed. So it was hard. Gotcha. It was really hard. And one day they were just like, hey, we're going to take you off Opie and Anthony. And I was like, oh no, I'm losing my job. And they're like, we know you like heavy metal. And I was good enough to where I knew what I was doing, kind of. Mm-hmm. So they're like, let's not fire him. Let's at least keep him with Sirius. And this is right when the company merged, 8 months after, maybe 6 to 8 months after the company merged. And they're like, we need help on the metal channel. And you seem to like metal. And I was like, all right. So that's when I started working with Jose. But yeah, Opie and Anthony was nuts, man, because they would be on XM and K-Rock. So then in the morning they would be working K-Rock and then they would do the walkover because the XM was right across the street. And I was listening to them since 1027 NEW when they had Psycho I forget the dude's names, man. Yeah. There was so many friggin' characters and they were just driving around Boston and taking the homeless to malls and doing this crazy shit. And I was like, and I would be listening with my mom and because she would be driving me around. And she was like, what is this you're listening to? And now I'm on the opposite side of the board working for these dudes. I'm nervous. I've never worked in radio. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I would fall flat on my goddamn face live on the air and get destroyed live on the air and cry about it and want to quit, but came back every single day for beating after beating after beating. And I'm still working for Sirius XM. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Unfortunately, Opie and Anthony are not working for Sirius XM anymore. So I wish they would have been able to keep it together, but like, because that one time they were like the Babe Ruths of radio.
They were.
Know? I love Stern and all, but like Stern wasn't shit to Opie and Anthony. To me for years.
I agree, dude. Like they took it over, and you still kind of almost hope like they'll I know towards the end of Opie's show, he had like Anthony on as a caller, and I'm like, oh, maybe they'll get back together.
And there were little glimmers of hope. They'd be talking and not talking, but man, oh man. I was there one day when Opie said some shit, and Opie said some shit about Anthony eating on the air, and Anthony said some shit like, yeah, you would know, and boom, they on air started screaming, and I was like, oh. Dude, when shit would go down, man, it was crazy. I liked it because it wasn't me getting yelled at.
Like, you guys are fine.
But it's such a scary environment to be in, man, because there's other dudes that work there, and those other dudes, I mean, they're brilliant. And you're working with so many brilliant people, and I don't think I'm brilliant by any means. And like working with a room full of like just real smart dudes, but also real smart ass dudes, it can be like toxic. And I found it very toxic. And I would have to the show would start at 6 a.m. I would have to be there at 5 a.m., which means I would be leaving Long Island at 3 a.m., which means I'm waking up at 2:30 in the morning. And that was my life for 2.5 years. So I'm not a morning person, and waking up at 2:30 in the morning, dealing with anybody for at least 8 hours is a nightmare.
Yeah, at that, it's like, I almost want to, all right, end the show. That's it. Bang. It's like you drop the mic right there.
Nah. It only got better after that, man. It only got better after that. Look at me now. I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I stretch and I walk. There's my bedroom right there. I walk right out of my bedroom, right here to my chair. And I used to have to wake up at 2 in the morning. Yeah. Not no more.
That's good that you fucking persevered and you had the will and you fucking went through
it. Man. And it's hard. It's hard.
And that's why the select few make it and are on air. And
I try. And even on air, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing, man. Every day when I put the mic on, I'm like, what am I gonna vomit out of my stupid mouth today?
See, that's another thing that like almost like coincides with what I asked about, like your set list, like your playlist. Like, hey man, talk about this, or hey, why don't you maybe just an influencer somewhere, a management or something. It's just you. It's just you.
Are you kidding me? I talk about smoking weed and watching Pornhub and like, who the hell? I'd be surprised if the bosses ever like, gotcha. No, there's never any, we get emails about like other shows going on and like, hey, you might want to promote this thing is going on Octane. Gotcha. If something cross promotes on a channel, totally, but like no one's ever like, you need to talk about the inauguration today, this is very important news. No, there's none of that.
Gotcha.
There's absolutely none of that. I come on and I just like, it's because I'm always looking ahead, so you always just look of what's coming up in the next 15 minutes and you just put yourself in that mind state of, what am I going to talk about for this next 15 minutes? And you look at all the bands that are playing or whatever, and it's like, they want stories. And I've seen all of these bands live. I've been able to have some sort of story or listen to them when I was a kid. Like, so you just think of something to talk about for each band, which is sometimes a goddamn nightmare because sometimes I just don't have anything.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
You figure it out. I watch a ton of stuff. I listen to a ton of stuff. I try and throw in references from everything. I try and throw in hip hop references. I'm obsessed with serial killers. I throw in serial killer references, like anything to get a rise out of people, get people talking on the socials. That's important. Social interaction, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's so funny how you'll say, oh, well, I don't know what I'm going to say here, so there, but like to the listener, like to us, and like, I don't, Archie and I don't consider ourselves like regular listeners because like, knowing like the industry a little bit, we're like you just sound like a fucking natural, dude. Like it doesn't. And I'm not just blowing smoke, dude. It just sounds like, wow, this guy. It's like a natural gift that you just do it and just say.
That's gnarly. Thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate that. Like it comes with practice, I guess. I still feel like I could always, I always feel like I can get better, but it's like, what are you gonna? I don't know. Maybe I'm jaded because I'm like, this isn't a hard job. And to myself, I'm like, because my brother's an iron worker in Manhattan. My brother's like climbing buildings with a strap on his waist, 77 feet up on beams and like facing. I'm sitting here jerking off into a microphone. Like I don't consider what I do like real late laborious, but I'm like, yeah, man, it's just being able to talk. I'm like, I don't know. I have Jose to guide me on how to do things. Yeah. Jose is very good with constructive criticism, and I listen to all the other DJs on the channel and I listen to what they do. You figure out what to do, what not to do. I'll be in the middle of talking and like my shit's not live. I can like do it 5 minutes before, 5 hours before. And if I say some shit and I'm like, ew, like what I just said is something I would never really actually say. Why? And I'll go back and I'll redo it. Okay. So it's like more
that's cool,
natural and everything. But yeah, thank you. I really,
we mean it.
I try really, really hard, and I want to represent for my people. I don't want to have just my own agenda going on. Like, I know we love music and I know we love metal, and I want to kind of like represent for everybody, which is impossible, but like I do my best, and I love that people get behind it and listen to it and listen to shit that I'm like, hey, check out Harm's Way. Hey, check out Jesus Piece. Hey, check out, Dillinger Escape Plan, and bands that people were like, I wasn't thinking about it, but now like I'll check it out. Or like Eat the Turnbuckle. Eat the Turnbuckle is one of the greatest bands of all time, and all I want is everybody to listen. Like I love just putting people on to new stuff, and I cannot believe that I get to do that. I cannot believe it, but I have worked my ass off to do that.
Just remember the next time you decide during a break, talk about titties on Pornhub, Rocky's smiling out there going, you want to know that's my guy.
Yo, man, the Pornhub and the X videos and what are you gonna do? Everybody's looking for something to do in quarantine. Jesus.
Well, I'll tell you what it is, man. It's like everybody feels like, hey, it's easy to be the funny guy or the entertaining guy around the water cooler, but like you're doing it, on satellite radio to the world. It's a bit different, right? And
that's the thing is they say never think of it like that. Never think of it. You're talking to one person. This is it. You're always talking, so it's never, hey, everybody.
Yeah.
It's never all you out there. It's always, hey, you. How are you doing? What's going on with you? How do you feel today? Not how do you all feel today?
Yeah.
So I never think that I'm talking to the country, and sometimes I forget. Again, I'll say dumb shit like pills don't do anything or whatever, and then I'll have the whole country pissed off and yelling and screaming. That's when you notice how many people are listening when people get pissed. When I'm trying to like talk to people, I'm like, hey, what do I watch on Netflix? And nobody says shit to me. I'm like, is anybody even listening to me when I talk? So it's cool. It's cool to be able to, I have no idea how far the reach is. I have no idea how many people are listening at once.
Yeah.
I have no idea how many people like hate my show, love my show, listen to what I say, don't listen to what I like the music I like. So I just keep doing what I do. And I don't even think about how many people are listening. I kind of just think about like, where am I going next with this? What is going on next with this? Because they're just listening. Like I'm the one putting it together. Like if I wasn't putting it together, they wouldn't have anything to listen to. So it's like,
for sure.
It's good to be able to just talk to so many people, especially through the pandemic in March and April and May when this shit was rough and this shit was scary. I had Jose calling me saying like, yo, what do we talk about? And I'm like, you're the dude who talks about every single thing ever. And you're asking me what the hell, because all the tours were canceled, all the this was canceled. And I was like, just do what you do. Just vomit that positivity all over the place times 100 because everyone needs it now. True. And then the protests, and then it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And I was like, this is insane what is going on with the world. And like, I would go on every day like, oh my God, what do you say? How do you say it? Like it's crazy, but you just push through. Yeah. And at the end, you always figure it out. When you have to figure it out, you just figure it out one way or another. And I enjoy being able to have that as an outlet and talk to people on the socials. And when people tell me they found a new band because I introduced it to them, like, that's the best feeling in the world, man. Yeah. That's the best feeling in the world.
Spirit
so
box.
I try to just
Spirit Box.
Yeah.
I would not have known the Spirit Box.
Man. Creeping Death, Plague Years. Year of the Knife, fucking year. I love Year of the Knife. And their singer got in the car 2 days ago and heard me introduce their song right when he turned the channel on. He was like, "Oh, this is awesome. Perfect timing." I got to hear him introduce our song and he shouted me out and everything. And I was like, that's badass. I love when the band members hear us hyping their shit up because it's like, we're out here promoting, helping. I want to help.
Yeah.
I want to make these dudes money. I want to get these guys back on the road, hopefully in December, if shit pops off. Like, I want to have, this platform. They're still making music. They're still writing music.
Yeah.
They're still putting out music. Mm-hmm. Thank God. If they didn't put out any music last year, could you imagine how terrible last year would have been?
Yeah.
So listen, before we let you go, I'd be remiss in my duties if I didn't talk a little wrestling with you.
Let's go. I got some time, man. You don't got to rush off. I got some time to talk wrestling. Let me get a water real quick.
All right.
Go ahead. You can ask your question. I can hear you.
So what's your favorite show now? Is it AEW, WWE?
Okay, so here's where I'm gonna sell out. I haven't watched anything in a while.
Okay.
I haven't watched anything in a while. I know Andy Williams from Every Time I Die is rocking as the Butcher and the Blade with his tag team in AEW.
Hell yeah.
What else is there? There's AEW,
WWE, NXT.
Yeah, NXT. I don't watch. That's the thing. Like, I've never really watched any NXT. My buddy, I have a buddy who works for WWE, so I have gone to every NXT Brooklyn pre-SummerSlam show or whatever. Yeah. And like, I never know who I'm watching. I never know what's going on. I know Ciampa. Ciampa's still doing stuff in NXT. And Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream is dope. But this is like 2 years ago. But WWE, I don't watch the show. I follow them on the socials. So like every time a show is on, every 5 minutes, I see like Drew McIntyre's got the belt. Roman Reigns is heel. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman now. What they wanted a year and a half, 2 years ago at WWE. Always 2 years late with everything. It was so weird with no crowd. It was so uncomfortable for me, and I'm like they got to figure this out. And it was great to see week after week after week after week them figuring it out,
like learning.
Yes, and now with the screens, that shit is dope. So like, it's innovative, which WWE always is. But I think the sports play. I don't watch sports. I have no idea. But I haven't been keeping up. I watch old school stuff all the time. All I do is think about old school stuff. Right now, I just follow the chicks. I'm all about
Total Divas.
Zelina Vega. Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
My Total Divas on my Instagram, Natalie Eva Marie, even though she's not wrestling anymore.
The redhead.
My God.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks is just, man, I drool all over Sasha Banks. She is smoking hot. But other than Alexa Bliss, oh my God. But I don't know. Randy Orton got his face burned off or something.
By Alexa Bliss,
By Alexa Bliss. I follow it on the socials, but I haven't watched a show or a pay-per-view in so long. I'm definitely more of an old school guy with pre-attitude, Mr. Perfect, Razor Ramon, Yokozuna, Earthquake, all that, and then definitely attitude. But Hogan is king to me. Wrestling has began when Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant, and then really kicked into gear when Hogan turned heel and joined the NWO. Like, Hogan is
nice beard, Hogan.
Yeah. He's the bookmark of wrestling for me, because like, he started and kept it all crazy good. And that's when the whole attitude thing kicked in. And then I fell off for a couple years. And then I came back for a couple years when CM Punk was rocking.
Yep.
And The Rock was coming back a bunch. And then I fell off again. I'm like, wrestling's like any music genre. Like, I'm on for a couple of years. I'm off for a couple of years. I bounce all over the place. But I love wrestling, man. I got my, I think this came from Hogan's store. Zombie Mania. Nice. My coaster. I got Hulk Hogan zombie coasters.
Nice.
I got I got pop figures back there. I wish I still had my toys. I don't got any of my wrestling toys.
When I was a little kid, I think my father went out and got me a Hulk. All right, so the shirt that he wears, right, to rip to shred.
Yeah,
so
of
like,
course.
oh, we went through this and this to get you this shirt, and I was like, oh my god, thank you. I go in the living room with a fucking scissor, and I start going at it, right, to make it like Hogan. My mom comes in. What the fuck are you doing?
You gotta cut this shirt up. That's great.
But like, so also,
and now you do that normally because you're just a husky bitch.
You're a
You gotta cut the shit.
You're a piece of shit. So years ago, I used to fucking live with him an apartment, and he's one of those fucking guys. I don't know if you are, but you got to fucking play the TV when you go to bed. I don't know. All right.
Well, let me ask you a question. How the fuck do you drown the voices out of your head if you don't put the TV down?
You know what I use? I have a white noise machine.
Yes.
So I go to...
Yes. So I would wake up. We had a bed. We both slept on the second floor, bathroom on the first. I would wake up. I go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden you'd hear, oh my God, Big John Stud, Hillbilly Jim against the ropes with the foot. I go, what? I go, like, am I dreaming? Is this 1980 fucking 9? I'm
like WrestleMania 2.
Yeah.
Can Hogan body slam the what is he listening to there?
Man. Roddy Piper. Hell yeah. Yeah, I love the old school. I'm all about the old school and the old school heels.
Hell yeah.
I mean, sometimes when I talk on Liquid Metal, I'll talk over Mr. Perfect's theme music. Yes. Rick Rude, cut the music. Like, come on. Ultimate Warrior, one of the most heavy metal wrestling characters ever.
Hell yeah.
Like, yeah, I fuck with all that old stuff. I still want to go check out some wrestling shows when they come back around. I can still fall back into it. But yeah, lately I've been out of it. I'm very stoked for Andy from Every Time I Die for rocking an AEW.
Yo, let me tell you something. He is a fucking good wrestler. He's like a cool throwback, bro. I'm like, this is rad, dude.
Yeah, and he's massive.
Yeah,
he's huge.
I'm like, how does he fucking play guitar?
Than life. And he's one of the nicest dudes on the planet, which is so good. So good. Yeah, I used to wrestle as a kid, like, just backyard wrestle and do all that dumb shit. I used to have the Ultimate Warrior tassels off the arms hanging. I used to go to the Coliseum with Sid Justice, doing the fist bumps to everybody. Back seeing Stone Cold and British Bulldog and all these dudes, man. Yeah.
Good for you, bro.
Old days. Yeah, that's what I miss.
On air.
That's what I miss.
Dip into wrestling. You got metal. You talk about hip hop. I'm not even get into it because I know it's something else, but like I found out I wasn't listening to the channel during Hip Hop Week, and I wish I was fucking listening during Hip Hop Week, but that's another thing. So hopefully, let me just say, do it again. Just do it again.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the most polarizing specials we have ever done. People loved it so much, or they hated it. Yeah. Man, we played an Ill Bill song.
Yeah.
The unreleased. What's it called? The biography of Slayer. I don't know what it is, but when we're done here, look up Ill Bill, the biography of Slayer. Okay. And all he does is rap about Slayer coming up. It's so sick. And we were playing it on Liquid Metal. I was like, this is my dream come true.
That's fantastic.
I loved it. I loved it so much. Lots more E-Town Concrete. Playing so much stuff, dude. I'm trying to remember now. Now I can't even remember. But of course, Body Count.
All I'm saying is
Canderia's got a lot of hip hop stuff in there.
Do it again.
Yeah, totally. We're absolutely going to. We had a reason to because Body Count put out that new record, and it was right at the beginning of quarantine. Yep. Like shit was popping off right as everything else in the world was popping off. And that was so much fun. I love Ice-T. Big shout out to Ice-T. That is the dude.
March, that was one of the albums you said we did a episode in early 2020. You were looking forward to, and what a fucking great album.
About 6 years ago, Camden, New Jersey, Mayhem Festival, Body Count playing the second stage parking lot. I'm sitting there with my girlfriend, and I'm like this. I'm like, let's just fucking say, let's just like, I know what they're about. I like them. I just want to see how the crowd reacts. All of a sudden, they just come on. There's no lights. There's no show. It's just fucking Yo, y'all heard of us? Y'all gonna hear us now. And I was like this, and I just was watching every little kid's face, like just like, what is this? Who is this? And then like, probably there's people in there going, "Isn't that the NCIS motherfucker or whatever?"
Yeah.
But like
Law and Order, bitch. Come on.
I always fuck that up.
Stupid.
Him and Ernie C, bro. They just, I really enjoyed it. I became a Body Count fan, actually.
Yeah, and like that, and like an Ice-T, and Ice-T is. There should be a Rocky statue of Ice-T.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to hip hop, like that's how. First off, he got like famous in the streets. So just straight up, he's just street famous. Then he's like, yeah, sure. Because I remember him telling a story. He was like, I was getting my hair done, taking care of my ladies in the street or whatever. And somebody's like, and he was like, I was rapping in the barber's chair, and somebody's like, you should rap. And he's like, yeah, I'll try it out. It goes from that to being an iconic rapper that is like one of the most respected rappers in the business. And then for no reason is like, I'm gonna start a metal band. And this wasn't like late 90s or like it's cool to start a metal band. He did it in like 89 or whatever, and playing shows with Metallica and Faith No More. Like this was real. And Metallica respected him as a rapper, and here he is coming up with Body Count. And then on top of that, he is acting. My buddy is a cameraman on Law and Order, and he works with Ice-T. And he's like, it is so crazy that out of all the actors, Ice-T is the most professional out of
how good is he? He's like good.
So he's in so many amazing movies. So he's like an iconic rapper. He's an iconic actor, and he's one of the most like respected dudes at that Mayhem Fest. I think we were at that Mayhem Fest in Camden because we were. It was Cannibal Corpse was on there, Body Count was on there, Suicide Silence, and we interviewed everybody. And every single person, when we did an interview with them, they're like, "Yo." We were like, what band is your favorite here? Everybody said Ice-T and Body Count. They're like, he is the coolest. He is the nicest. He's like the most respected man in the whole business. And I love that dude.
Awesome, bro.
He's a good dude.
Is that
a Pantera Far Beyond Driven poster in your back?
Yeah, I got a Far Beyond Driven poster, and then on the other wall over there, I got a Metallica Master of Puppets poster.
I see Kiss back there. I swear I do. I said the dolls.
What's up?
I swear I see the Kiss dolls.
No,
that's not Kiss dolls.
Kiss stuff. No, I have a Metallica poster right there.
From here, well, I'm a little far away.
It kind of does look like Kiss dolls. It's funny here.
Yo. I swear to God, who's the second one in? It looks like Ace. Watch, it's like Justice for All or some shit time.
There you go.
Wow. I love it.
Cliff.
That's old school.
From far away, it does look like Kiss.
I swear to God, I back there, I was like, yo, dope, he's got Kiss dolls.
No, I'm not a big. Call me a sellout. I'm not a big Kiss guy. That's not my bag. I need it way heavier than Kiss. A lot of the bands I love worship Kiss, and I'll respect them for that. But no, you're not gonna. I don't know any Kiss gear.
So, Arch, I'm gonna make an executive decision. Right. So, you got the Pantera Far Beyond Driven poster.
Let's go.
Loves wrestling.
Let's go.
Life of Agony. Loves fucking Wu-Tang Clan. Shawn the Butcher is replacing our pal Vince as our third best friend. Automatic. That's it. Sorry, Vince, you're
my man.
That's it. I mean,
I respect that. Sorry, Vince.
Yo, before we go, bro. Listen, last thing, I want to give a little shout out to hailsfromthecrypt.com. All right.
Yeah.
Just a little something. Like I actually do a little freelance for Leica. And I see like
camera.
Yeah. So
hey, I want a Leica. I'm trying. That was my net. My buddy has a Leica, and Randy Bly uses a Leica.
Okay.
And their pictures. Yes, their pictures are nasty. Yes. Continue.
So I get a video from the dude I work with, and he's like, just check this out. We're gonna do something like this. Whatever for reference. So I'm going through one of their. I was like one of their groups that they had. I think it was like a training, seminar type thing. And all of a sudden I'm like, what? Is that Randy Bly? I stopped it. I was like, because I don't, I'm not associating metal at all right now. I'm doing like whatever. I was like, that's fucking metal. That's awesome. So I know that you dipped into photography with this House in the Crypt.
So I I dipped into everything with it because I've just been doing audio interviews. And I'm like, I'm doing so much and I could get so much content out of this. I need to do more. And when I was out at those barbecues in Virginia, this kid, Brian Brown, who is an amazing photographer, listens to Liquid Metal, just walked right up to me and he's like, yo, I'm Brian Brown. I'm a photographer. I'm a big fan, whatever. And I was like, cool, man. And I was whatever. I followed him on Instagram and I'm looking at his pictures and I was like, holy shit, this kid takes great pictures. Turns out he's in Richmond, Virginia. Randy Bly's in Richmond, Virginia. Yep. Turns out they're homies and they go out and they take pictures together. And I was like, whoa. I was like, this kid, Brian Brown's a big fucking deal. So I would still talk to him and keep going to Richmond, Virginia. And I was like, yo, I'm working this barbecue. You want to be my photographer and just walk around? I'll get you a photo pass and you just take pictures for me. And then when I would do a thing on Liquid Metal, I would use all of his pictures and all of my audio and make a press kit out of it. And I was like, this is dope. And he's like, why don't you just buy a camera? And I was like, shit, that's a good idea. So I got my tax return. The first thing I did was bought a camera. And then when I would go to interviews, I would talk to the label to get the interview. So I'd be like, yo, can you throw me a photo pass? And luckily, because of where I am and what I'm doing, they're like, yeah, take whatever the hell you want. So I would go in the photo pit and take like the worst photos because I don't know what I'm doing. And I have no idea how the hell to work a camera in a badly lit area with moving objects. Like you think that taking a picture is just fucking easy because you're taking a picture, but capturing a moment in a pic, like it's fun. I love it. So I started videotaping my interviews, airing the audio on the radio, and then having the video and the audio and the pictures that I took from the photo pit at the show. And I would packet everything in a press kit and air it all on Liquid Metal in a nice little press thing. And I have all of this content and I'm like, this is all really good shit. And I'm like, I kind of want to have somewhere like a home for it. So I started Hails from the Crypt.
Awesome.
And I was like, I'm just going to house all my interviews and all my photos and anything. I found the Bushwick. You ever heard of the Bushwick Collective? It's all awesome street art all over Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Okay.
It used to be 5 Points before they knocked down 5 Points. Now they have this big Brooklyn project and they do all the buildings up really gnarly. So I'll post that stuff. I'll post street art. I'll post anything. But right now, nothing's going on, so I haven't really been posting anything. But yeah, hailsfromthecrypt.com. It's like my little pet project. It's my little, instead of being like, go to my Facebook or go to my Instagram. It's like, yo, go to my website. It's official. I'm official, kind of. But I'm just like storing my stuff. And if people like, I mean, some of those Code Orange interviews got like 2,000, 3,000 views on them. And I'm like, it's just me talking to Code Orange. So if people want to watch it, like totally. So it's cool that people dig it and watch it. I'm like, that's badass, man. It's fun. I like it. Brother, thank you for shouting that out.
Yo, brother, man. I can speak for Rocky and myself. Yo, we love you on air. We support you. You and Jose, fucking Octane, Aussies, fucking we're fans. We're metal fans.
I appreciate that.
Thank you very much for giving us your time, bro. Is there tell the people out there where they can hit you up or whatever you want to promote, my friend?
So I'm on Twitter, Instagram at Shawn the Butcher, hailsfromthecrypt.com. I'm on Liquid Metal every Monday to Friday, 5 to 9 p.m. Eastern. hailsfromthecrypt.com. I think that's all I'm working with right now. Facebook's whatever. You can do Hails from the Crypt on Instagram, all Hail the Crypt on Twitter. It's just my photos and my videos, a lot of stuff in quarantine lately. And just keep following me on the socials. I try to update with all the new music and stuff. What's up?
And while you're doing that, you're in the same tattered boxers and fucking LOA t-shirts, whatever. Yeah. It's just the way now. It's just the way life is now, right?
Yeah, man. I love it. This is the first time I took a shower in fucking 3 weeks, probably.
Brother, man, have a great night. Be safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Archie, Rocco, this is awesome. I appreciate the opportunity for this. Anytime. You guys let me know when you want to throw down on something. I'm more than happy to. I appreciate this. And let me know when you post this or whatever.
Yeah, I will.
I want to promote it.
No doubt, bro. Be good, man.
Hey, well, thank you so much.
Much love.
Later.
Be safe. Be healthy, guys.
Yo, Shawn,
very fun.
Shawn the motherfucking Butcher, Liquid Metal, Ozzy's Boneyard, one of the most. I'm gonna go out there and say one of the most influential in metal, because it's going all over the country. Sirius Radio, one of the most influential characters.
The world, motherfucker, the world.
All right, well, you don't have to be a big shot.
Whoa.
So one of the most influential metal.
Hey now.
Him and Jose, the metal ambassador, fucking awesome guy. Awesome dude.
And he replaced Vince, dude.
He replaced
our
Vince?
best friend. Like, Vince,
Yeah.
I love you, bro. But yeah. I mean, the fact that you never bought a fucking album in your life is kind of
sways the other way towards Shawnee boy. So
what
listen,
a good dude.
with that being said, Rocco, what do you have to say to the people?
If you just heard us talking to our boy, Shawn the Butcher, and you spent your last dollar on a high-class hooker, but when she got there, you realized she ain't no looker, and you just got punked like your Ashton Kutcher, then you're listening to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
We out.